everybody, and welcome to this special on the super new moon that happens when the sun and the moon are in the 27th degree of Aquarius. So I'm going to dive right in and talk about what all of this means. So astrologically, the super new moon influences the left fibula within the human body, and this symbolises strength and balance. Practically, this super new moon encourages us to embrace innovation and think outside of the box, inspiring courage and promoting progressive thinking, unconventional ideas, especially when it comes to solving problems. Politically, this can trigger a desire for social change and reform, because Aquarius is known for its emphasis on equality, freedom, and doing things for the collective. The energy of the super new moon amplifies these ideals, and this can lead to movements or initiatives aimed at addressing social inequality issues, especially when it comes around justice and feeling safe as a human being to go about your day-to-day life. A supermoon is called a supermoon because of how close it appears to be to the Earth, and is also known as the dark moon as well. During this time, the moon is not visible from the Earth because of its position between the sun and our planet, but it still affects and intensifies our emotions and the things that happen on Earth, and also amplifies the energy of new beginnings and letting go. So the key themes of this Aquarius supermoon are equality, freedom, and collective healing. On the worldly, materialistic level, it can bring about new opportunities for progression and success. Aquarius energy wants us to detach a little bit from our life and look at it objectively, clearly look at the things that we need to release and the new habits, behaviour and thought and relationship habits we need to build into our life so we can grow and expand. Also, working with technology, networking with others and building social connections is the key focus of a super new moon in Aquarius as well. It allows us to socially have a collective shift in consciousness, as I said, and we may be more focused on working together as a family, as a couple, as a friendship group or community or group organisation towards a common goal. It promotes us working with others, being more tolerant and open-minded, and accepting the diversity of viewpoints and human, sexual and everything else expression as well. Just looking at how can I understand this person rather than how am I different from this person. Spiritually, because this super new moon happens when the sun and the moon are in the 27th degree of Aquarius, and the symbolism is an ancient pottery bowl with violets, so this kind of brings the connection between ancient wisdom, so looking towards wisdom of the past but updating it with the wisdom of the now and the future, and also signifies the powerful healing power of nature. So going out in nature, we're getting into the spring now. The spring equinox is coming in a couple of weeks as well, so the spring equinox is coming in a few weeks as well. So this encourages us to plant the seeds of new beginnings so we can start harvesting in the summer and autumn time as well. So just looking at ways that we can really improve our psychological, emotional and spiritual health as well. So in terms of family relationships, it wants us to understand each other and grow more effectively together and have more open communication. In terms of friendship, it allows us to work with others and collaborate. In co-worker relationships, we can have clashes over different of opinions and approaches, but positively it really highlights again the power of coming together and collectively trying to solve problems, because people can look at it from different angles because they've got different opinions. So this can be good. So not looking at differences as a negative thing, but seeing the positive in people being different to us. In terms of committed relationships, it gives us a boost in intellectual connection, so we can do activities, whether we have an interest in role play, cosplay, technology, medical, science, gaming, whatever whatever it is we connect with our lovers, we can do more of it, and this can help us, bond together. And we may actually experiment as couples and take more of an unconventional approach to thinking and being sort of like attached. In terms of hookups, we can be more free and open to exploration, and this can give us a sense of freedom, and it's really powerful to navigate this energy with more honesty and clear communication to avoid misunderstandings and unfulfilled expectations. So make sure you put your cards on the table, let people know exactly what you want, and this is how we can make sure our hookup and committed relationships and no other relationships can benefit from honest and open communication, and allowing the Aquarius energy to allow us to look at things a bit more objectively. So in terms of the past life implications, the karma and the karmic lessons, the super new moon in Aquarius focuses on the karma of the collective consciousness. So this can range from addictive sort of issues, generational dysfunction issues, struggles with communication, with being objective, with trusting technology and innovative ideas, the karma of not being able to break free from our past, especially our past karma. So the super new moon in Aquarius wants us to focus on transformation, innovation, thinking outside of the box to bring more unity within ourselves and within our communities and nations. So we may experience current life lessons or dreams, or just on the subconscious level thoughts about our limiting beliefs, how we do think about the collective, about the humanitarian collective, or in the ways that we're selfish and just focus on our individuality. Also the ways where we reject our individuality can come under the spotlight as well, and potentially this energy wants us to tap into that revolutionary energy, connect with that ancient wisdom, incorporating the morals of the future and the now and upgrading them, and as well as using the lessons of the past as well, not completely getting rid of the past. It's all about upgrading our beliefs, being able to tap into that side of us who wants to make some positive change, whether it will be on the global scale of helping empowering others or just helping empower our own selves as well. So lifetimes where we fail to use information, where we may have been too futuristic in our thinking, lifetimes where we may have been too conformist may come under the spotlight as well as experiences in this lifetime where we have failed to stand up for who we truly are. So it just pushes us to make changes in our lives. In terms of career development, it can help us to really just think outside of the box, and this can push our professional growth. Spiritually, it wants us to connect with ourselves and the universe on a deeper level, allowing for inner transformation and enlightenment. On the personal level, it embraces us to embrace our unique talents, maybe the qualities that other people have rejected in us and we've rejected within ourselves. This energy wants us to work on or start the work or continue the work of accepting ourselves on all levels. And in terms of educational development, it pushes us to expand our knowledge and explore new fields of study, new areas of education and stuff like that. So the best things for us to do with this energy, in terms of if you're a creative, it's a great time to increase your creativity and immerse yourself in inspirational art or literature, books, online blogs, whatever, social media blogs, whatever it is. Attend art expeditions, watch them online, be open to fresh ideas. Professionals should use this to network and collaborate with other people within your industry, profession. Entrepreneurs should use this energy to strategize and brainstorm and expand your business. And alternative healers can use this energy to explore new healing techniques. Lovers should use this energy to engage in open and honest communication and explore new ways to connect emotionally and intimately with others, and this can be from a cozy night in, date night together, cooking dinner, ordering takeout, whatever, or taking a romantic getaway together, and this can help you deepen your bond and reunite your passion. And also this can help us to objectively look at conflict, so maybe discussing, tensions in the relationships that you normally run and hide away from. This energy can help us be a bit more detached and open to change and discussing it as well. So now I'm just going to talk about the aspects that the sun and the moon make at the time of this new moon and the Sabian degrees more, and then I'm going to talk more about what the fixed star aspects and what they contribute to this overall super new moon. So yeah, the sun and the moon makes a sextile to Mars, so this adds to us being assertive and passionate, supports us in being more determined when going after our goals. It wants us to embrace change and explore new possibilities, supporting us to break free from old patterns and the things that no longer serve us. The sun makes a conjunction to Neptune, so this allows us to tap into our inner wisdom, to be open to the inner voices that can lead us towards the things that can make us grow. And there may be thoughts that we don't like. We may have that insight to forgive that person that hurt us 20 years ago, or to deal with some childhood trauma that we numb ourselves from in forms of addictive substances as well. So it can be quite scary when, especially if you do run from your emotions. So this energy allows us to connect with ourselves on a deeper level, as well as providing that kind of sort of energy to support us reaching our dreams and goals and just being open to a new life for ourselves. The moon also conjuncts Neptune, so this adds to the confusion and the illusion. Neptune energy, on the flip side, can always make us run to our addictions, get lost in ourselves, overspend, ignore red flags, be open to manipulation and seduction and stuff as well, and things that could sort of like mess with our emotional and psychological stability. So it can be hard for us to tell the difference between reality and fantasy, so just watch out for that. Mercury also makes a conjunction to Neptune, so how we speak can be deceptive, how people talk. It does give us the ability to be more persuasive, but on the negative, people can be persuasive with you, and it may not be in your best interest, so just watch out for that. But ultimately, it's a great energy for research, investigation, uncovering secrets, facing your inner secrets. Mercury's sextile to Pluto helps us to have some transformative conversations if we're open to it, and Mercury sextile to the midheaven helps us in finding success in our career objectives and strategic planning and networking as well. Venus makes a quintile to Jupiter, so this just brings extra joy and generosity. It's great for us to work on our financial growth with this energy. It supports us healing our relationships as well and just being more optimistic in general. Mars is square to Uranus brings the unpredictability and restlessness as well, and adds to the risk of conflicts in our relationships. So it's best to channel our motivation or sexual energy, which Mars represents, because it's also making a sextile to Chiron that supports our healing growth and allows us to tap into our inner strength and confront past wounds. So this is great. So we should channel our Mars energy into doing that. And Mars makes a sextile to the North Node as well, so this allows us and supports us in taking decisive action towards our goal and reaching our higher potential. Jupiter sextile to Saturn allows us to be more stable at the time of this new moon and to be more practical and disciplined and take calculated risks. We can be sort of like resistance to change as well, and this can get in the way of our progress if we remain inflexible. So just try and be as open-minded as you can at the time of this super new moon and the 2 weeks across that. So the 2 weeks following the new moon, this energy affects us. At the time of the super new moon, Jupiter also makes a conjunction to Uranus, so Uranus involved again. So again, it supports us in stepping out of that comfort zone, being open to unexpected opportunities, but also can make us and other people rebel for the sake of it, pulling pranks and just doing things to get on other people's nerves, to get a reaction, to scare them in some way and stuff. So we have to be aware of respecting other people's boundaries and asserting our own in a non-aggressive way as well. Jupiter makes a semi-square to Neptune, so again, this brings us that vibe of supporting us in getting lost in our illusions, but it opens us up to manifesting our highest dreams, and wants us to balance our spiritual side and our dreamy side with practical actions, and making sure that we take and are prepared to take the realistic steps to make our dreams and goals a reality, because that's the only way they can sort of like manifest in our life. Also, at the time of this super new moon in Aquarius, the moon and the sun and Neptune make a stellium. The moon and the sun are in Aquarius, but Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, so this is a perfect example of a stellium where it's by degree orb. They're within that 10-degree orb, so that's why they are in stellium. So how does this impact this super new moon? So again, the stellium is supporting us in being progressive in our thinking, being more intuitive and sensitive, having more empathy towards others and compassion for ourselves. It supports us in gaining that clarity and emotional depth, so just giving us that power to go there, to go within ourselves, to be open to healing, even though we have maybe put it off before. But negatively amplifies the risk of us being unrealistic in our ideals and plans. Again, we may blur that line between reality and fantasy, fact and fiction, and we may want to be lied and tricked as well. So we really have to try and trust our gut instincts when making decisions, and to take time out if we feel like overwhelmed right now, and practice self-care and set healthy boundaries, which are essential during this time as well. But this energy supports out of the box thinking, just allows us to protect our energy and to do things that can ground ourselves, whether it be meditating, journaling, being mindful in every moment. We are supported in just being who we really are if we avoid the negative of the stellium. Positively, the stellium helps us to bring deep healing to ourselves and our relationships, and break down our large goals into smaller tasks that we can do one day at a time, one step at a time. So just slow things down, embrace the new, make that plan, and just have more empathy for yourself and compassion for others as well, while also respecting their boundaries and enforcing your own. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the Sabian degrees that are happening. So as I said, the moon and the sun are in the 27th degree of Aquarius, and the symbology is an ancient pottery bowl filled with violets. So this imagery conjures up, invokes a sense of history, tradition, beauty, and the rich depth of wisdom and creativity. The 11th house in astrology represents friendship, social networks, and collective plans. And this supermoon energy has a significant, or can have a significant impact on these areas of our lives. The symbolism of the ancient pottery bowl filled with violets suggests that we may find ourselves reconnecting with our past, our culture or religious beliefs, and exploring our ancestral, our family roots. This can be from, like I said, delving into family history, or reviving ancient traditions and costumes. So you may research a different culture from your own, or new cultures, and incorporate what you find into your day-to-day life. So Capricorn, where Mars is, and Mars has a lot of aspects and energy in this super new moon, is in the 27th degree of Capricorn. So the imagery of this Sabian degree is a water sprite. So this brings a touch of mystery and fluidity to the energies at play during the super new moon. Mars represents assertiveness, our sexual, our physical drives, our ambition, our action, the ways we do or don't go after life. So when Mars is in the 10th house, which controls our career, reputation, public image and stuff, it suggests that during this time we've got the ability to tap into being more determined in reaching our career or educational or creative or spiritual or any other goals at this time. The presence of the water sprite, which is like a water fairy, symbolises the power of emotions and intuition, reminding us to tap into our inner wisdom and trust our instincts, especially when it comes to our career. And it can be hard because when we have have all the heartbreak and pain and unresolved trauma and so many unresolved thoughts in our head, it can be hard to listen to that small, still, intuitive voice. So even if you just start or continue the work on removing and healing all those limiting beliefs and unresolved emotional and spiritual and psychological trauma, and doing this, getting in touch with your intuition can help guide you through your life. But the process of getting there can be hard, but I do recommend it. And we don't always, we're human, so it's not about always 100% thinking you have to trust your intuition all the time. It can be a struggle, especially if we're born into thinking more logically as we go through school and university and college and work and experiencing other adult relationships and stuff like that as well. So it can be hard to tap into that inner child and that innocent way of thinking about things. But the imagery of the water sprite wants us to tap into our imagination and just be open to be more creative and the things that we are told to think of as silly and fantasy, but do so in a grounded way. We don't want to get lost into the Neptunian seas of addiction, but we also want to be open up to believing that life can be better than what it is now. So Uranus is in the 26th degree of Aries in the 12th house at the time of the super new moon. So again, it brings an overwhelming abundance of creative potential. So it just allows us to, supports us in having them innovative ideas that Aquarius brings and having those breakthrough in consciousness that are possible if we're willing to work towards doing so. But it also warns against the danger of becoming overwhelmed or scattered by the sheer amount of information and possibilities that being in touch with like the Neptunian spirituality aspects of life can be. So take your time and don't rush, break things down. Everybody sort of like heals and opens up their awareness and consciousness at different rates. It's not a competition, but by being able to know yourself and heal yourself, you get to trust your own instincts and build your own inner wisdom and reserves within you that can give you that love and reassurance when you're having your depressive and anxious days and just feeling low in mood in other ways. Neptune also has a great influence on the super new moon, and that's in the 3rd degree of Pisces, and Neptune rules Pisces as well. And the Sabian symbol for this degree is a petrified forest, and this allows us to be sort of like reminds us of the fact of being immobile or stagnating, not being open to change, just repeating the same relationships and life patterns over and over again gets in the way of us being progressive and forward thinking. And this is what Aquarius wants us to do at the time of this super new moon. So we have to, it warns us against getting stuck in old patterns and rigid beliefs. It serves as an image, as a reminder to remain adaptable and flexible and open-minded during this super new moon and beyond. So if we break the symbols down a bit more, the petrified forest in the 3rd degree of Pisces can relate to the deep-rooted fears or subconscious blockages that get in the way of our personal growth. So it reminds us that it's important to confront the obstacles of life head on and release any limitations that hold us back. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the fixed star aspects at the time of this super new moon and how they influence and support what the new moon is calling us to do. So the sun and the moon are opposed, near Bowler, and this star is known for its rebellious nature and tendency to challenge societal norms. So this opposition wants us to, go against traditions, break free from our limiting behaviours, and supports us in embracing our true selves and embracing our individuality and breaking free from the expectations of others. The sun and moon are also making a trine to Castor, so this supports our creativity and self-expression, and also is great for writers, creatives, and finding solutions in our communication breakdowns. So great for repairing conflicts as well. The sun and the moon are also making squares to Capella and Bellatrix. So Capella represents a strong love for movement and change. So this supports that, this new moon really wants us to change, and we're supported, but this desire for change can lead to impulsive behaviour and taking risks without about thinking, so just make sure you consider the consequences before you say and do anything. People may feel a strong urge to break free from stagnant routines, and this can lead to impulsive behaviour and just shocks out the blue, so just watch out for that. So Bellatrix here reminds us of the importance of, overcoming our obstacles and facing the dark aspects of life and our own human personalities, because once we understand our own darkness, we can understand how darkness works in others and we can navigate it. But if we only see ourselves as light or not part of the problem, and I believe all of us as individuals, as we get into adulthood, between 18 and 25, more and more have to take responsibility, and 25 plus, for what's going on in the world, for we are the adults. So it's not about blaming, because what we tend to do as humans, like, I do certain things, but this person does way worse things than me, so what I do is not that bad. So it's like a false sense of security, a false sense of righteousness. So this energy wants us to trust in our own strength and resilience, but also to work on our shadow and our darker personality traits and accept them, and to embrace our weaknesses by turning them into strengths as well. The Sun and the Moon are also making a trine to the fixed star Zuben S. Mali. So this supports us with social reform and bringing positive change into our communities, but it can also add tension in our attempts to reform ourselves and others as well, because this strong urge of action can just amplify the conflict. So there's a lot of energy that's sort of like pushing us into conflict, but there's loads of energies, as you've seen, that's supporting us resolving them. And Mars is also forming a quincunx to Castor, which is associated with writing and creativity. So again, it can make us more pushy in going after our creative goals and using creativity and imagination to heal ourselves. But it can, on the negative end, cause conflicts in communication and conflict with people trying to seek external validation from others as well. But positively, it just supports us in expressing ourselves in new ways as well, and being open to new ways of self-expression in others as well. So sort of like helping us work through that sort of negativity. Mars is also making a trine to Bellatrix, so again it's supporting us with our shadow work and facing our truths as well. Neptune's making a sesquiquadrate to the fixed star Alpahika, so this supports us in being more nurturing and bringing more abundance into our life and exploring new possibilities. Neptune's sesquiquadrate to the fixed star Aquarius also allows us to be grounded and focus on practical matters and be balanced and stable, and go after meeting our material needs in a positive way, taking a closer look on the ways that we're not meeting the needs of ourselves, like the needs for possessions, or to pay our rent, meet our other sort of financial liabilities. So it can bring us ideas of side hustles or taking on new skills, learning new skills, educating ourselves so we can go for a better job and stuff like that. Not looking at the time, it's going to take 10 or 15 years or 5 years, but looking at the long-term rewards, because a lot of the time we don't go for what we want in life because we just think, it's just going to take ages. But the time goes on anyway, and 10, 15 years later we're still here, but we still haven't achieved the things that we want to. So Neptune's sesquiquadrate with Aquarius and Neptune sextile with Alago is showing us that it's important to actually have tangible results of our dreams, and the only way we can do that if we take concrete, practical daily steps to bring in our visions into reality, and we're supported to do that. But Neptune makes a square to the fixed star Aquaman and Polaris, so these fixed star aspects again just highlights that they're going to be obstacles and setbacks, but it's important to stay resilient and not let these challenges get in the way from you pursuing your goals, and just to be open to working with removing the barriers that stop you from trusting your own inner guidance and intuition as well, encouraging us to stay true to ourselves and to just navigate through any uncertainties or confusions that come up. By tapping into our inner compass, we'll be able to find that clarity and that self-love and guidance that we need, even conclusion. So as the challenges and chaos of life comes up, so in conclusion, the super new moon in Aquarius can be transformative for us. It encourages us to embrace our individuality and honour our unique gifts and express ourselves authentically and allow other people to do so as well. It reminds us that we are all interconnected beings, part of a larger collective, and that we all have different aspects of our own personality that we need to get to work together in unity, and this can help us have more compassion for ourselves and others and make powerful changes in our world as well. So this super new moon encourages us to think outside of the box when it comes to solving our problems and living life and planning for our futures, as well as embracing the now. So yeah, this is the end of the super new moon in the constellation of Aquarius that takes place on the 10th of March. Take care and see you next time.